This video is for everyone who aspires or wants to do an MBA or is preparing themselves for CAT exam, who's aiming to join an IIM, who's preparing for the interviews. So today we have someone who graduated from an IIM Lucknow in 2018 and is currently working with Gartner. We're going to understand from her how one should prepare themselves for IIM interviews. What should be the key focus areas once you get an admit from an IIM? How to prepare for placements at an IIM. Also, keep in mind that these videos are recorded over Zoom, so the quality will not be the best, but I can guarantee you each of these videos will provide you ample amount of knowledge. So make sure you subscribe to the channel to watch more of similar content. And do like the video if you find it useful, because it helps me so much with the YouTube algorithm with what I'm doing. So without further ado, let's welcome Maitri Thakkar. So Maitri, thank you for taking out your time and being a part of this video. I really appreciate it.
Hi, Nikhil, and thanks for having me here.
So the very first thing which I want to understand is the interview process at an IIM. How should one prepare for it?
So, once you have your CAT scores, if you qualify for various institutes, especially IIMs, you will be hearing back from these institutes and you'll be given a time and date for which you have your interview. Now, once you get there, you'll have a document verification, and post that, you'll be required to go through the 2 rounds of interviews. The first is generally a WAT, a written ability test, or a GD, which is a group discussion. Now, owing to the fact that a group discussion is more favorable to certain personality types, now most IIMs have done away with that format and are now going forward with the written ability test. The written ability test is basically a 15 to 30-minute test where you are expected to write down your thoughts on a given topic in an A4 size sheet. The number of words will be limited, and the main thing that they want to look at here is how well do you articulate on paper and what is your thought process and what you're thinking, right? Suppose that you will have your interview, which will be scheduled for later that day, and there are about 100 to 150 people being interviewed at the same time. So you will have to stand out if you want to make it to the IIM, right? The interviewers tend to look for a few things in a candidate. So first thing would be the potential that you convey through your past achievements or your attitude or your resilience, etc. So they need to know that you have what it takes to succeed. The second thing that they look for in a good candidate is the way you think or your thought process, and how structured you are when you answer a question, right? So the best method to go about it is through the STAR methodology, which is situation, task, action, and result, and go about mentioning these in that order on any given question. The third thing that they look for is whether you know everything that you've mentioned on your application inside out. So, for example, I mentioned music on my application because I've done 5 years out of 7 in Visharat, and I was asked to sing in the interview, and I was also asked some theory questions about music, right? So you need to be prepared to answer that level of detail. Often a lot of guys get into a discussion about cricket, sports, or some bands that they've been following. So this is not unheard of. So you need to be prepared to answer whatever you're stating in the application or during the interview. Uh, the other thing that they look for, and I think this is something of prime importance, it's that you need to be a very good communicator or a good articulator for that matter. So you need to be able to put your thoughts and words in a good and structured manner. Now, the whole point behind this is a good leader is definitely a good communicator, and you absolutely need to have this quality if you expect to be a leader someday, right? So that's, I think, one of the prime qualities that they look for. The fifth thing that they look for is, how do you handle stress? So at times you might be put in a position of stress. There might be a stress interview. Especially IIM Lucknow, it's definitely known to conduct these kinds of interviews, and they will see how you maintain your calm through this. And if you do, you'll get a lot of brownie points for that.
Now, when you're doing an MBA, what should your key focus areas be? Where should someone spend most of the time?
So, an MBA is an expensive degree in the Indian context, and you want to make sure you get the right value out of it. Plus, there are thousands of things to do on campus, so you want to make sure you prioritize them right so as to get whatever you aimed to achieve out of your MBA. But there are top five things that I could think of which would be a top priority for any student going for an MBA. The first thing is placements. Then comes your grades, which you need to maintain a balance with. Third is, your social life, your cultural activities, your sports. All of this is fairly important. The fourth thing, which is most important, is learning new skills while you're at B school, because there are so many people from so many domains. You'll definitely get to learn a lot from each one of them, and it's best to pick up a sport or or another activity while you're at campus, because the kind of infrastructure, the kind of facilities you get there, you'll barely find anywhere else. The last thing, but not least important, is the networking. The most important thing that you take from your MBA is your network, and you're only as good as your network is. Therefore, you definitely need to spend time networking with your colleagues and your seniors who come to campus, and make sure you leave with a rich network of intellectuals. So, I would suggest devoting about 40 to 60% of your time in a B school to placements and grades, uh, about 10 to 20% to your cultural activities, sports, etc., because these are also important, and these are important even from the perspective of recruitment. So make sure you get those right. I would allocate a minimum of 10% to networking activities, and about 10 to 20% for carrying out some committee work or learning new skills or cultivating a new habit of sorts. So, this is how I would prioritize um one's time in B school. And this is my advice to most B schoolers.
Now, when you're doing an MBA, you have different specialization. How should one decide which particular specialization he or she needs to choose?
So, when it comes to choosing a specialization, I'd like to answer this question in two parts. First is for those B schools that require you to choose an MBA stream when you enter the college, and the other one is a general MBA, which is generally offered by IIMs. So, let me first take the question for those colleges which require you to choose a particular stream at the start of your course. Now, here there are a couple of things that come into play when choosing your specialization. The first thing is, what is your aspiration, and where do you want to be after your MBA, right? What kind of a job do you hope to get? Or what kind of a business do you want to start post your MBA? And this could help you answer which specialization to go for. So, for example, if you're somebody who's a mechanical engineer, works mostly in supply chain, and wants to go somewhere on those lines, then I would suggest going for an operations MBA. If you're somebody who's into software and wants to go towards product management, then IT is the right field for you. So I think one needs to do this kind of internal assessment themselves to figure out where they want to be. Uh, this so at times to add to this, I've also seen doctors, dentists, etc., go to marketing from their current field, right? So you just need to first think about the end state and where you are right now, and whether this MBA will help you get there. So that's one thing. And therefore, for a specialized MBA, I would say just marry where you are and where you want to be, and that will help you decide which MBA or which stream works perfectly for you. For a general MBA, things are much simpler. You have a lot more flexibility because for the first year, you get to choose, you get to study all the courses, and towards the end of the first year, you're required to choose a few courses for the second year. The best part here is you don't necessarily have to do a specialization. You could do a completely general MBA, which has few subjects from every domain, or you could choose to specialize in one, two, or three specializations. Now, this depends from institute to institute, because the number of subjects that or the number of credits that you require to complete a specialization might vary. But overall, you get a lot more flexibility for the general MBA course, which is offered by most IIMs.
When it comes to placement, can you tell us more about the placement process at an IIM?
So there are three types of placement processes that happen in most campuses. The first is a summer placement process, then comes the lateral process, and the third is a final placement process. The summer placement process is essentially for your summer internships. The internship happens between your first and second years of academics and is essentially going to help you gain practical and employable skills and bring those to your final placements. The lateral and final placements are essentially your placements for a longer term, which is post MBA, and these equip you to go out into the real world with a good brand on your CV. So the preparation for summer internship project placement process begins as soon as you enter campus. So you first are required to create a CV, which goes through hundreds of iterations, and post that you're expected to verify each and every single point of those. So if you're say mentioning somewhere that you did an internship with a certain firm, you will be expected to get that in writing from the CEO. So the entire summer internship process takes rigorous fact checking on the placement committee's part. Post that, you are expected to get your basics right on the interview process. So for that, you have a lot of help from seniors, mentors, and various committees that are there to help out students, and they help arrange mock GDs, mock interviews, so on and so forth, so you can prepare well for your summer internship process. uh, the process in most top IIMs looks like this. So basically, there is probably a week assigned to placements, which is the placement week. And during this, there will be some 100 to 150 companies coming on campus. You will be expected to start off the day at 5 a.m. Sometimes it might end by 2 a.m. So it's a very tiring process, but nonetheless very rewarding as well. Um and the interviews are lined up throughout the day. There could be GDs as well. So it's a very, very rigorous way of getting your placements, a very, very rigorous process. But it's definitely an experience worth having. It has prepared me for much worse, and therefore, it really helps to have these experiences in life. These are very stressful placement processes, but um, they bring out the best in you towards the end of the day.
Now, in terms of job after MBA, how do you think an MBA helped you professionally?
So I think in jobs post MBA, there are two things that remain common regardless of the industry or domain. The first thing is the ability to translate business goals into action, regardless of what domain you're in. And the second thing is the amount of ownership you take. So as B schoolers, I have seen that most candidates are expected to take up a lot more ownership than undergraduates would be taking. This is just a personal observation, by the way. And I think an MBA equips you in more than one way to perform well at roles like these. So the first thing is it equips you with that rigor and that pace, right? So you're used to doing a lot more work in a lot less time, and that helps prepare you for these roles going forward. Second thing is you're working with so many people during projects, so you have um, at least 30 projects that you do in a year. So it means you're working in 30 different teams on campus. So you're pretty much mingling with most of your batch. And these are different personality types, different way people work. And it helps you understand how to collaborate best with what kind of people. So I think that understanding and those people skills really helped me in my job as well. And also the amount of presentations that you have to make for these projects. So you will be expected to uh, stand up in class every second day and present something, and that helps in increasing your confidence and your fluency when speaking in public. The third thing that I think an MBA equips you with is to see all problems from a general lens, right? So you look at the bigger picture first and then narrow down to various fields. So for example, if you look at a business model, you're looking at IT, operations, finance, supply chain, marketing, so on and so forth, right? So it gives you this ability to look at the larger picture as well, and then if required, take a look at the microscopic level as well. Then the fourth thing that I think an MBA really helps you out with is having a structural thinking process. So, which is in fact one of the most employable traits that you get out of an MBA. The ability to break down a problem into various smaller problems or reasons why those could be occurring, and then to solve for each of those individually. This is one of the most critical skills that you can get out of an MBA, and that would help you for jobs to come throughout your career.
One ending advice which you would give to anyone who is preparing themselves to do an MBA at an IIM.
So if you're somebody who's preparing for an MBA, is already on their way to an MBA, I would advise them to make sure they're setting a clear goal in mind and working towards it consistently. So just because, see, an MBA is not a level playing field, right? So when you're aiming to be in a certain domain or a certain job, you're competing against people who are not at the same age, who are not from the same background as you. And therefore, they might have a lot more on their profiles. They might have accomplished a lot more by a certain age, right? So, for example, if you want to get into a finance domain, there might be people who are CAs who you're competing against for a job. So make sure you start building your profile towards that. So if you're an engineer, one good way to start, for example, could be doing some online courses. Now, these don't add sufficient value, but they tend to show your inclination towards a certain domain and show that you are putting efforts towards getting there. So make sure whenever you're, planning to do something of this sort, an MBA or a B school course, anything of that sort, and you want good prospects out of it, make sure your story is evident on your CV as well. So it should read clearly that you've been making efforts to go into a certain direction, and therefore you will end at nothing but getting your goal. So these are my 2 cents on this.
So, Maitri, it was great talking to you. Thank you again for taking your time and providing these insights for an MBA at an IIM.
Thanks for having me. I hope I was able to provide a small overview of an MBA at IIM.